Chapter 25, wherein firm peace of heart and true profit consist. My son, I have said, peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. John chapter 14, verse 27. All men desire peace, but all do not care for the things which belong unto true peace. My peace is with the humble and lowly in heart. Thy peace shall be in much patience. If thou heardest me and didst follow my voice, thou shouldest enjoy much peace. What then shall I do, Lord? In everything take heed to thyself what thou doest and what thou sayest, and direct all thy purpose to this, that thou please me alone, and desire or seek nothing apart from me. But moreover judge nothing rashly concerning the words or deeds of others, nor meddle with matters which are not committed to thee, and it may be that thou shalt be disturbed little or rarely. Yet never to feel any disquiet, nor to suffer any pain of heart or body, this belongeth not to the present life, but is the state of eternal rest. Therefore count not thyself to have found true peace, if thou hast felt no grief, nor that then all is well if thou hast no adversary, nor that this is perfect if all things fall out according to thy desire, nor then reckon thyself to be anything great, or think that thou art specially beloved if thou art in a state of great fervor and sweetness of spirit. For not by these things is the true lover of virtue known, nor in them doth the profit and perfection of man consist. In what, then, Lord? In offering thyself with all thy heart to the divine will, in not seeking the things which are thine own, whether great or small, whether temporal or eternal, so that thou remain with the same steady countenance in giving of thanks between prosperity and adversity, weighing all things in an equal balance. If thou be so brave and long-suffering in hope that when inward comfort is taken from thee, thou even prepare thy heart for the more endurance, and justify not thyself, as though thou oughtest not to suffer these heavy things, but dost justify me in all things that I appoint, and dost bless my holy name, then dost thou walk in the true and right way of peace, and shalt have a sure hope that thou shalt again behold my face with joy. For if thou come to an utter contempt of thyself, know that then thou shalt enjoy abundance of peace, as much as is possible where thou art but a wayfaring man. Chapter 26. Of the exaltation of a free spirit, which humble prayer more deserveth than doth frequent reading. Lord, this is the work of a perfect man, never to slacken his mind from attention to heavenly things, and among many cares to pass along as it were without care, not after the manner of one indifferent, but rather with the privilege of a free mind, cleaving to no creature with inordinate affection. I beseech thee, my most merciful Lord God, preserve me from the cares of this life, lest I become too much entangled, from many necessities of the body, lest I be taken captive by pleasure, from all obstacles of the spirit, lest I be broken and cast down with cares. I say not from those things which the vanity of the world goeth about after with all eagerness, but from those miseries which by the universal curse of mortality weigh down and hold back the soul of thy servant in punishment, that it cannot enter into liberty of spirit so often as it would. O my God, sweetness unspeakable, turn into bitterness all my fleshly consolation, which draweth me away from the love of eternal things, and wickedly allureth toward itself by setting before me some present delight. Let not, O my God, let not flesh and blood prevail over me. Let not the world and its short glory deceive me. Let not the devil and his craftiness supplant me. Give me courage to resist, patience to endure, constancy to persevere. Grant, in place of all consolations of the world, the most sweet unction of thy Spirit, and in place of carnal love, pour into me the love of thy name. Behold, food and drink and clothing, and all the other needs appertaining to the support of the body are burdensome to the devout spirit. Grant that I may use such things with moderation, and that I be not entangled with inordinate affection for them. To cast away all these things is not lawful, because nature must be sustained, but to require superfluities and things which merely minister delight, the holy law forbiddeth. For otherwise the flesh would wax insolent against the spirit. In all these things I beseech thee, let thy hand guide and teach me, that I in no way exceed. Chapter 27. That personal love greatly hindereth from the highest good. My son, thou must give all for all, and be nothing of thine own. Know thou that the love of thyself is more hurtful to thee than anything in the world. According to the love and inclination which thou hast, everything more or less cleaveth to thee. If thy love be pure, sincere, well regulated, thou shalt not be in captivity to anything. Do not covet what thou mayest not have. Do not have what is able to hinder thee and to rob thee of inward liberty. It is wonderful that thou committest not thyself to me from the very bottom of thy heart with all things which thou canst desire or have. Why art thou consumed with vain sorrow? Why art thou worried with superfluous cares? Stand thou by my good pleasure, and thou shalt suffer no loss. If thou seekest after this or that, and wilt be here or there according to thine own advantage or the fulfilling of thine own pleasure, thou shalt never be in quiet, nor free from care, because in everything somewhat will be found lacking, and everywhere there will be somebody who opposeth thee. Therefore it is not gaining or multiplying of this thing or that which advantageth thee, but rather the despising of it and cutting it by the root out of thy heart, which thou must not only understand of money and riches, but of the desire after honor and vain praise, things which all pass away with the world. The place availeth little if the spirit of devotion is wanting, nor shall that peace stand long which is sought from abroad, if the state of thy heart is without the true foundation, that is, if it abide not in me. Thou mayest change, but thou canst not better thyself. For when occasion ariseth and is accepted, thou shalt find what thou didst fly from. Yea, more. A prayer for cleansing of the heart and for heavenly wisdom. Strengthen me, O God, by the grace of thy Holy Spirit. Give me virtue to be strengthened with might in the inner man, and to free my heart from all fruitless care and trouble, and that I be not drawn away by various desires after any things whatsoever, whether of little value or great, but that I may look upon all as passing away, and myself as passing away with them, because there is no profit under the sun, and all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 11. Oh, how wise is he that considereth thus. Give me, O Lord, heavenly wisdom, that I may learn to seek thee above all things, and to find thee, to relish thee above all things, and to love thee, and to understand all other things even as they are, according to the order of thy wisdom. Grant me prudently to avoid the flatterer, and patiently to bear with him that opposeth me. For this is great wisdom, not to be carried by every wind of words, nor to give ear to the wicked flattering siren. For thus do we go safely on in the way we have begun. Chapter 28. Against the tongues of detractors. My son, take it not sadly to heart, if any think ill of thee, and say of thee what thou art unwilling to hear. Thou oughtest to think worse of thyself, and to believe no man weaker than thyself. If thou walkest inwardly, thou wilt not weigh flying words above their value. It is no small prudence to keep silence in an evil time, and to turn inwardly unto me, and not to be troubled by human judgment. Let not thy peace depend upon the word of men, for whether they judge well or ill of thee, thou art not any other man than thyself. Where is true peace or true glory? Is it not in me? And he who seeketh not to please men, nor feareth to displease, shall enjoy abundant peace. From inordinate love and vain fear ariseth all disquietude of heart, and all distraction of the senses. Chapter 29. How, when tribulation cometh, we must call upon and bless God. Blessed be thy name, O Lord, for evermore, who hast willed this temptation and trouble to come upon me. I cannot escape it, but have need to flee unto thee, that thou mayest succor me and turn it unto me for good. Lord, now I am in tribulation, and it is not well within my heart, but I am sore vexed by the suffering which lieth upon me. And now, dear Father, what shall I say? I am taken among the snares. Save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour. John chapter 12, verse 27. That thou mightest be glorified when I am deeply humbled and am delivered through thee. Let it be thy pleasure to deliver me. Psalm 40, verse 16. For what can I do who am poor, and without thee whither shall I go? Give patience this time also. Help me, O Lord my God, and I will not fear how much soever I be weighed down. And now amid these things what shall I say? Lord, thy will be done. I have well deserved to be troubled and weighed down. Therefore I ought to bear, would that it be with patience, until the tempest be overpast and comfort return. Yet is thine omnipotent arm able also to take this temptation away from me, and to lessen its power, that I fall not utterly under it, even as many a time past thou hast helped me, O God, my merciful God. And as much as this deliverance is difficult to me, so much is it easy to thee, O right hand of the Most Highest. Chapter 30. Of seeking divine help, and the confidence of obtaining grace. My son, I, the Lord, am a stronghold in the day of trouble. Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7. Come unto me when it is not well with thee. This it is which chiefly hindereth heavenly consolation, that thou too slowly betakest thyself unto prayer. For before thou earnestly seekest unto me, thou dost first seek after many means of comfort, and refresheth thyself in outward things. So it cometh to pass that all things profit thee but little, until thou learn that it is I who deliver those who trust in me. Neither beside me is there any strong help, nor profitable counsel, nor enduring remedy. But now, recovering courage after the tempest, grow thou strong in the light of my mercies. For I am nigh, saith the Lord, that I may restore all things not only as they were at the first, but also abundantly, and one upon another. For is anything too hard for me, or shall I be like unto one who saith and doeth not? Where is thy faith? Stand fast and with perseverance. Be long-suffering and strong. Consolation will come unto thee in its due season. Wait for me. Yea, wait. I will come and heal thee. It is temptation which vexeth thee, and a vain fear which terrifieth thee. What doth care about future events bring thee save sorrow upon sorrow? Sufficient for the day is the evil thereof. Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. It is vain and useless to be disturbed or lifted up about future things which perhaps will never come. But it is the nature of man to be deceived by fancies of this sort, and it is a sign of a mind which is still weak to be so easily drawn away at the suggestion of the enemy. For he careth not whether he deceive and beguile by true means or false, whether he throw thee down by the love of the present or fear of the future. Therefore let not thy heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Believe in me, and put thy trust in my mercy. John chapter 14, verse 27. Psalm 13, verse 5. When thou thinkest thyself far removed from me, I am often the nearer. When thou reckonest that almost all is lost, then often is greater opportunity of gain at hand. All is not lost when something goeth contrary to thy wishes. Thou oughtest not to judge according to present feeling, nor so to take or give way to any grief which befalleth thee, as if all hope of escape were taken away. Think not thyself totally abandoned, although for the time I have sent to thee some tribulation, or have even withdrawn some cherished consolation. For this is the way to the kingdom of heaven. And without doubt it is better for thee and all my other servants that ye should be proved by adversities, than that ye should have all things as ye would. I know thy hidden thoughts, and that it is very needful for thy soul's health that sometimes thou be left without relish, lest perchance thou be lifted up by prosperity, and desirous to please thyself in that which thou art not. What I have given I am able to take away, and to restore again at my good pleasure. When I shall have given, it is mine. When I shall have taken away, I have not taken what is thine. For every good gift and every perfect gift is from me. James chapter 1, verse 17. If I shall have sent upon thee grief or any vexation, be not angry, nor let thy heart be sad. I am able quickly to lift thee up and to change every burden into joy. But I am just and greatly to be praised when I do thus unto thee. If thou rightly consider and look upon it with truth, thou oughtest never to be so sadly cast down because of adversity, but rather shouldst rejoice and give thanks. Yea, verily, to count it to the highest joys that I afflict thee with sorrows and spare thee not. As my Father hath loved me, so I love you. Thus have I spoken unto my beloved disciples, whom I sent forth not unto worldly joys, but to great strivings, not unto honors, but unto contempt, not unto ease, but to labors, not unto rest, but to bring forth much fruit with patience. My son, remember these words. John chapter 15, verse 9.